Welcome to Achieve More with Athens Tech, the official podcast of Athens Technical College. This is where you'll discover how the programs at Athens Tech can connect you with in-demand and high-paying careers. Today, we're going to hear how the Paralegal Studies Program has changed people's lives.
Without Athens Tech, I would not be sitting here as a lawyer. I certainly wouldn't have gone on to get a bachelor's degree in paralegal studies. I would never have gotten a job as a paralegal in the first place. And Athens Tech, at least for me, was an institution that was there at the exact right time for a price that I could certainly afford, with a schedule I could certainly make, and literally set me up in a whole different trajectory than I even imagined, that's let me go all the way through and in just a handful of years end up going to law school, passing the bar, joining a law firm, and making partner with two attorneys that are far better than I am. So I don't think any of that was possible at Athens Tech.
We'll also hear from graduates who've come back and are now professional lawyers.
Right. I talk to people all the time and they say, I'm thinking about going back to school. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this. And something that Athens Tech will allow people to do is to kind of dip their toe into the water, take a class or two, and see if they like it. But at Athens Tech, it's affordable. And I think that you can experiment a little bit without jumping completely into the pool. For those of you who are kind of on the fence about it, I would just say, if your heart is telling you that you may be interested in it, why not just try it? Pick one class that you may be interested in, take the class. And if you don't like it, fine. And you're not out thousands and thousands of dollars like you would be at a university. My advice would just be to just try it a little bit and see if you like it, or maybe even speak to a lawyer close to you about what they do, and maybe go shadow them for a day and see if that's something that you're interested in as well.
Tai Moore is the program chair for Paralegal Studies at Athens Tech, and she recalls a student who returned to give back to the community.
My name is Tai Moore. I am the program chair for Paralegal Studies here at Athens Technical College. Andrew Prater, he is actually a graduate of the program. He finished his undergraduate degree and then decided that he wanted to pursue something in the legal field. So he came back and got an additional associate's degree in paralegal studies, and then went on to law school. So he's been working in the legal field for a while, and he wanted to come back and give back to the program where he got his start. And so he is teaching in our program.
So my name is Andrew Prater. I am an attorney based out of Winder, Georgia. I did graduate from the Athens Tech Paralegal Program, I believe about 10 years ago. After I did that, worked as a paralegal in Athens, Georgia for about 4 or 5 years, and then decided to go back to law school, went to law school at Georgia State University. Worked in Atlanta for a couple of years and taught at other places. And now I'm back up in Athens and teaching at Athens Tech. So it's good to be kind of back.
The Athens Tech Paralegal Program will prepare you to enter the workforce and get ahead of the competition.
My name is Brian Cathy. I'm currently a partner at Jordan Woodward Kathy. We're a medical malpractice firm in Atlanta, Georgia, and recently opened an office in Athens, Georgia. And I went through the Athens Tech Paralegal Program. Several classes had me prepare projects, prepare pleadings, prepare to see a case all the way through, bringing the case in at intake, through working it up, all the way up to filing a complaint. And that project in particular, when I ended up at a firm that did some contract litigation and was moving over into doing personal injury litigation, I actually used my project from Athens Tech to double check myself behind the scenes sometimes before I would present it to the attorney I worked for. And it gave me almost a cheat sheet and a little bit of extra confidence, so that as I was putting this together and acting like I somewhat knew what I was doing in a law firm, it gave me that extra boost of confidence, an extra little thing I could check to make sure I was doing it the way I'd done it before, and prepared me for a way that probably convinced my boss I knew maybe even a little bit more than I actually did.
The Paralegal Studies Program is not just a certificate. It's a real accredited degree. Professor Andrew Prater explains.
Right. So I think that one of the things that I've said this before is the ABA certification, I think, is important. I felt proud being able to put that I had a degree that was certified by the ABA on my resume. I thought that would help my resume stand out against an applicant who may just have a paralegal certificate, not to diminish other programs because they are excellent programs. But the fact is that those are certificates. They are not degrees. It's something that I think students that are considering this program should take into account is that you never know what you're going to necessarily want to do in the future. You may want to go on with your education and get a bachelor's degree. You may want to go on and after your bachelor's degree, you may want to go to law school. So if you, instead of getting a certificate, which isn't going to help you in that journey in the same way, Athens Tech allows you to get a degree, which is, halfway through, in a lot of cases, halfway through a bachelor's degree. So that was hugely important to me. And I think that's a huge advantage of the program.
It's not only a quality accredited program, it's even recognized by the American Bar Association.
Definitely, it is a quality program. We are an ABA-approved paralegal program. And in fact, Athens Tech was the first school in Georgia to get ABA approval in 1992. So it has been recognized as a quality program for a good while. Because of our ABA approval, that means that in addition to the state regulations, the state standards that we are operating under through the technical college system of Georgia, we also have standards from the American Bar Association that we have to adhere to. And in fact, I actually just hit submit on our reapproval report to the American Bar Association. I feel confident in that. We produce excellent products. I have had, nothing but positive reviews from the employers in our local legal community. So I feel good about our program, and I think it is a wise investment, especially with the affordable tuition from the technical colleges in our state.
The Athens Tech Paralegal Studies Program prepares you for law school and can lead to further opportunities within the community.
I think the few of us that were paralegals, just to start there, the few of us that had paralegal experience before law school, the whole first year of law school was much, much easier than it was for anybody else. We had somewhat already adjusted our thinking, already knew somewhat what to expect coming into it, and knew the basics of law in at least several of the areas that we could build on. So for anybody that even thinks about going to law school as part of a long-term plan, I think paralegal school is definitely worth it. I don't actually recall anybody else in law school that I can remember which paralegal program they went through to necessarily compare, but I can say that I've never met anybody that came through the Athens Tech program that got out of the other side and seemed like they didn't have a pretty good handle on what they were doing. So even though I didn't see it in law school, I have seen it in other firms. I have seen it in other people I've met. And currently I've been doing an internship, or I was an internship site for a Athens Tech paralegal student. And she was so incredible that we literally offered her a job last Friday. Not only can I speak to what it did for me, but now I'm kind of going back to the well to look for new talent and take advantage of how good the program is.
Working as a paralegal before law school, I do think people ask me all the time if that gave me a leg up in law school. I definitely think it did. I think it's given me more of a leg up now that I'm on the other side of law school, because as paralegals that are working in the profession know, you're the one doing a lot of the actual work. So learning how to do that and doing the actual work before law school, and then keeping that in the back of my mind as I was, going through law school, and it's really made a big difference to me.
So If someone is, number one, interested in the law, and they may or may not be interested in ultimately going to law school, but they want to be involved in a legal profession, paralegal is a awesome opportunity and option. If you enjoy being in a support position and not necessarily being the person in the limelight, it's a great position for you. I would say that some of your skills that you probably want to already have, but that you could also develop while in the program are, being well organized, detail oriented, curious about not just the law, but people and, what happens in our daily lives. And because there's so much that, we as citizens are touched by the legal system, and it's a wonderful opportunity if you're curious about how the system works. If you are already working in a profession where you have, worked in customer service, you've worked in areas where, you are supporting others, you're already a great candidate to be a paralegal. It's not, don't think that it has to be something where, you're blowing out an IQ test or you have the highest grades from high school or previous college. It's more about your soft skills and your dedication to the profession and your dedication to supporting your supervising attorney than it is anything else.
Are you still on the fence? Let's talk to Shelly Stevens. She's an Athens Tech graduate and a practicing paralegal, and she tells us how rewarding the profession can be.
My name is Frances Michelle Stevens, but I go by Shelly from Michelle. Do it. What are you waiting for? I don't know why I chose culinary arts in the first place, because paralegal studies is really where it's at. I'm so comfortable in my life right now. I have two kids who both, my daughter's going into middle school, my son's already in middle school, and I have a husband, and I live and work in my community. I work 6 minutes from home. I am 10 minutes from each of my children's school. If there's anything that I need to do, I have this amazing work-life balance where I'm able to drop my kids off at school in the morning. I'm able to pick them up in the afternoons. I'm able to return to work and complete anything that needs to be completed after that if necessary. And it's just rewarding. It's so rewarding. I see clients come in and they're going through some of the toughest times of their lives. And this industry is not for the faint of heart, but it's so rewarding to be able to help them see something to fruition, see something to the end. One of the hardest parts about the area of law that we practice in, I say we, not me. I don't practice law. My supervising attorney practices law and I assist him. The area of law that we're in is personal injury. Mostly, we do mostly personal injury. We do some family law, but mostly personal injury. And I have to say, these people are coming to us broken and bruised and hurting, and they're just looking for some form of relief there. They're looking for somebody to say, oh yeah, this definitely should not have happened to you, and we're going to help you get back to as good or better, because that's what the law says, is that they should be returned back to as good or better. And so when that happens, when you actually get to see them, like when we settle something and you see them go, like, it's like a relief that comes off of them, and you're like, we did it. This was the most rewarding day to see you take a deep breath and actually able to exhale finally. And that's really what it's about, is actually, helping them. And if this person that I'm speaking to, if you're on the edge or on the fence about whether or not this is the right thing for you, if you want to see somebody be put back together, be put whole, made whole again, you want to see that this is the place for you, because you get to do that. You get to help them do that. It's rewarding. It's rewarding, absolutely, to be able to put those pieces back in the right place.
The Paralegal Studies Program at Athens Tech not only prepares you for law school and beyond, but learning about the law can be fun.
I think this is fun. The law is fun. It's interesting. It's engaging. I think that this career as a paralegal is suited to people who are just curious people by nature, because it is impossible to know everything. Even if you've been practicing law for 25 years, I would wager that if you talk to lawyers that have been practicing that long, or paralegals that have been doing it that long, they'll probably tell you that they still learn something new almost every day, because the facts that your clients will present you with, and the situations where you may be called upon to help or do research are just so varied. So it's a good opportunity to learn something new every day and to stay engaged. So I think being a curious person is hugely important. I think it's also important. It would be a good profession for people who enjoy writing, because the law, if you ask me, is just words. We're word-oriented people, written and spoken. So for those of you who like to write, this might be a good program to look into.
Earning a degree in paralegal studies at Athens Tech can also translate to financial stability.
I know in firms that I have worked in, I've seen ranges from about $15 up to somebody who's been doing it for 5 or 6 years. That can certainly get up to 25, 30, and really the sky is almost the limit. If a paralegal is able to help the attorney make money, then it's certainly in the attorney's best interest to keep the paralegal happy and keep the money flowing and keep that relationship going.
I have seen, I think the typical salary range for paralegals that I see right now is somewhere between that, maybe on 35 on the very low side, all the way up to 70 or more. I know plenty of people that are earning $70,000 as salary as a paralegal, which is more than some attorneys make, to be frank. So it's an excellent profession to get into, and I think that the probably average is somewhere between 40 and 50.
Whether you're a new student or someone with a postgraduate degree who's looking to change careers, Athens Tech offers multiple options to accommodate you.
Well, we actually have 2 program options. One is our associate's degree, which is the degree that we've had since the beginning of the program. It's a 2-year degree, and it is composed of some general education courses in addition to the paralegal courses. We then have also gotten ABA approval to offer a post-baccalaureate certificate in paralegal studies. In order to qualify for that program, you obviously, because it's post-bac, you have to have an undergraduate degree already. Doesn't matter what it's in. And so then you come in already having those gen ed classes, and so you only take paralegal courses, and it has a shorter time period. It is actually the only post-baccalaureate certificate that the Technical College System of Georgia is currently offering. It's being offered at several schools who have paralegal programs, but it is the only post-bac certificate in the system.
At Athens Tech, you can achieve more and start a new career.
And I have said this many times, and I mean it. Athens Tech literally, it changed my life completely. I did have a bachelor's degree, but when I came there to Athens Tech, and like I said, I had mostly worked in the service industry, and I was 30 years old, and I had never worked in an office in my life. I certainly didn't know how to tie a tie, but I went to Athens Tech. The program exposed me to a variety of ideas and subjects within the law that allowed me to exercise more control over my life. It allowed me to apply for jobs in a variety of legal settings. And like I said, I thought it was important that it was ABA certified, and it exposed me to, like I said a moment ago, the curriculum in the program is going to expose students to a variety of legal practice areas: criminal law, bankruptcy, family law, more transactional stuff like contracts or business. And surely between all these ideas, a student will find something that they are interested in. And again, control, I think, is a good word. More agency over your own life, and giving yourself more options is really important. And when you graduate with an associate's degree in paralegal studies, I think that a student has a lot more control and many more options available to them.
Thanks for listening to Achieve More with Athens Tech, the official podcast of Athens Technical College. For more information, visit athenstech.edu.